Real estate, where every decision is not just about paperwork, but the fate of an entire family, even a whole generation. In transactions worth billions of dong, a signature, seemingly simple, can be the line between safety and risk, between success and tragedy. So who truly guarantees the legal value and the safety of that signature? That is the fundamental question, the most important milestone in the journey of reforming the modern real estate market. Currently, a pilot project is being proposed, conducting real estate transactions without notarization, instead verifying through electronic identification and digital signatures. We fully respect the government's digital transformation goals, as it is an irreversible trend. However, we need to frankly reconsider the issue. Can technology replace the independent, objective legal responsibility and insurance compensation of a notary? Can a purely technical authentication system, a sophisticated electronic interface, truly bear the trust of society for the largest asset transactions in a person's life? Let's look back at the current model. A notary public is not only a person who verifies documents, but also an independent legal appraisal expert, professionally responsible before the law, insured for professional liability, and has a clear compensation channel in case of errors. A notarized document is not only a valid paper, but also a special type of evidence, recognized by law as having the highest value in dispute prevention. The pilot project proposes building a completely different model, mainly relying on technical authentication, administrative confirmation on an electronic platform, applying a 5-day silence mechanism, meaning if there is no response within 5 days, the transaction is by default qualified and instantly activated by an electronic signature. However, when there is an incident, who is the party responsible on par with the current notary public? Who is independent enough, sufficiently professional, and has enough resources to compensate the people for damages? The current process with notarization is a solid layer of protection. People proactively seek out notaries for legal appraisal. Contracts after notarization have special evidentiary value and are immediately accepted by state management agencies such as the Land Registration Office and tax authorities. Everything takes place within a tightly controlled, interconnected, and transparent system. Conversely, the pilot process allows citizens to self-declare information on the electronic identification system. Agencies then confirm it online. If no one objects within 5 days, the transaction is immediately activated with a digital signature. Only after that are procedures for updating changes, paying taxes, etc., carried out. This means that legal validity is granted first, while control, reconciliation, and legal updates only occur afterward. A gap in responsibility arises at the most sensitive moment, posing risks of disputes, asset seizures, and transaction restrictions without anyone having the independent authority to take responsibility like a notary. It is necessary to affirm the current specialized law requires notarization or authentication for the majority of real estate transactions between individuals. Digital transformation does not mean the abolition of notarization. The evidentiary value specific to notarized documents is the foundation for reducing disputes, lessening litigation burdens, and protecting the rights of both citizens and the state. There is a common misconception that documents mean notarization, while digitization means eliminating notarization. In fact, the barrier to digital transformation lies in the administrative paperwork process, not in notarization. Notarization itself can be fully transitioned to a digital environment. This is electronic notarization, e-notary, digitally notarized documents, digital signatures of notaries, identification codes, electronic traceability, and real-time prevention lookup. At this point, the value of legal appraisal, independent responsibility, and indemnity insurance are all maintained. Only the method is modernized and the process is made more transparent. Try to imagine a situation with the pilot model. Both parties sign electronically on the app after 5 days of silence, and the transaction immediately takes effect. But shortly after, it is discovered that the property is under dispute or has been seized. The buyer loses control and falls into an inescapable legal spiral. Who is responsible? the system cannot identify an independent entity capable of compensating the people, such as a notary. Currently, notarized documents help reduce the burden on the entire litigation system, thanks to their distinctive evidentiary value. If notarization is abolished, this burden will shift to the courts, investigative agencies, and prosecutors, leading to a sharp increase in social costs, prolonged disputes, and erosion of market trust. Instead of protecting the people, the new model puts them at a disadvantage and weakens the legal order. So what is the correct roadmap? It is to develop a fully integrated electronic notarization system with interconnected data, integrating the VNeID electronic identification, connecting land database, land registration offices, and tax authorities, maintaining the independent appraisal role and indemnity insurance of notaries in the digital environment. This is the solution to upgrade the legal shield, ensuring transaction safety while promoting genuine, transparent, and standardized digital transformation. All adjustments to the scope requiring notarization, if truly necessary, should only be carried out after a comprehensive risk assessment and amendments to the law in accordance with proper procedures and authority. One should not hastily remove a layer of protection that has proven effective for decades just for the sake of reform. Reform is about upgrading the legal shield, not removing it. Instead of piloting the removal of notarization with unclear foundations, we should develop a roadmap for electronic notarization, interconnected data, standards, safety, and transparency. Only then will legal order, system safety, and market trust be truly and firmly protected. What do you think about this content? Leave a comment and don't forget to follow the channel to stay updated with useful information.